Children, in the mechanism of current flow in conductor, that is, we are going to study about the drift velocity and the relaxation time. Okay. Now, metals generally have a large number of free electrons. Suppose we consider nearly 10 raised to 28 per cubic meter. This many number of electrons are in one cubic meter of a conductor. In the absence of electric field, these electrons are in a state of continuous random motion due to the thermal energy, because they are free to move due to the thermal energy. At room temperature, they move with the velocity nearly 10 raised to 5 meter per second. Okay. Now, at room temperature, these electrons move with the velocity 10 raised to 5 meter per second. Okay, but these velocities are distributed randomly in all the directions, and there is no preferred direction of the motion. On the average, the number of electrons traveling in any direction will be equal to the number of electrons traveling in the opposite direction. So to understand this once again, we will consider here this is a conductor, okay, and it is a wide view of a conductor. Okay, now in this conductor there are atoms also and there are free electrons are also. Okay, so suppose I will note down these are the number of electrons. Okay, so they are randomly situated and at a room temperature they are in a motion. Okay, so some electrons can move in any one direction, some electrons can move in a randomly any another direction. So that's what happened. All the electrons are moving in a different direction. So some are moving in this direction, some are moving in the opposite direction, and therefore what happened, on an average the number of electrons traveling in a particular direction will be equal to the number of electrons traveling in the opposite direction. Okay, so what happens, suppose this particular electron is having the velocity u1, okay, in that direction. So I am taking as a direction of that electron flow as velocity, that is u1. Then u2 is the velocity of the another electron, and we have u1, u2, u3 like this. If there are n number of electrons, then we have the un are the number of velocities of all the electrons. Okay, now what happens, if we want to find out the average velocity, then I can write down that average velocity vector u is equal to u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus so on, and we have up to n number of electrons are in this conductor and divided by n. So as I said, on an average, so half are moving on this side and on an average half are moving in the other direction, and therefore net flow of the electrons is equal to 0. And we can say that on an average, the average velocity of such electrons is 0 when there is no field applied. So this is very important, when no electric field is applied. Okay, now that means there is no net flow of the charges are there in any direction. Now in the presence of the external electric field, okay, so now we are going to understand when the external field is applied, what happens to the electrons. Okay, so in external field, we have external field E. What is the nature and behavior of the electrons, that we are going to study. Okay, so suppose I will take once again, this is a cross-sectional view of the conductor, and I have applied here, field is applied means a source is attached. Okay, that means a battery is attached. So this is a positive and this is a negative. Now this voltage of the battery is, source voltage is V. Now that means this terminal is at the positive potential and this terminal is at the negative potential. Now let us consider that these are the electrons which were initially moving randomly. Now what happened, these when the electric field is applied, now you can see that the electric field is applied from positive to negative in this direction. So I will show the direction of the electric field. In this direction the field is applied. In this direction. Okay, now each electron experiences the force Now how much is the force on the electron? So force on the electron, we have studied that it is equal to E into E, but the force on the electron is in the opposite direction to the electric field. That means what happens, the electron naturally will travel towards the positive side of the battery. Okay, that means field is from positive to negative, but the electron is moving from minus terminal to plus terminal, or minus side of the conductor towards the positive potential of the battery. And that's what, both the directions are opposite. So I can say that the electron will try to move in this direction, this is electron, and this will try to move in this direction, and you can see that both the direction are opposite. So electron experiences a force in the opposite direction to that of the electric field E. Okay, and therefore it will undergo the acceleration. Suppose initially, let us consider that this charge was initially moving like this. Okay, and suddenly the field is applied. Now what happened, the direction of electron has to change now from moving in this direction to moving in this direction. Okay, so it starts accelerating towards the electric field. Okay, and this acceleration is given by, acceleration is a vector quantity, so A bar is equal to force upon mass. And we have calculated the force on the electron is minus E into E. F is equal to Q into E, but Q is nothing but the charge on the electron, that's what we have taken here, E. Okay, and divided by mass of the electron. So we have A bar is equal to minus E bar upon M. As the electrons accelerate, they frequently collide with the positive metal ions or the other electrons in the metal. Okay, between these two successive collisions, an electron gains velocity component in addition to its random velocity. Now what happens? Suppose at this place the electrons are transferring from one place to another place. At this place, suppose there is a positive ion. So I will show this positive ion is like this, or a metal ion is there. So what happens when it will collide with this, then it can move to the another direction. Okay, so it can accelerate to the another direction, but the field is trying to again move it towards the positive potential of the battery. That's what, this will be again going to move in this direction. So what happens, every time it is going to collide, and when it collides, then it restart again to move with a different velocity. Okay, that's what, the gain in the velocity is lasting for the short time. This whatever velocity it has gained in terms of the random velocity was in this direction. Okay, and after collision it has started to move with the another velocity. Okay, and therefore we have here this random velocity, and the electron gain velocity component is again in the direction opposite to E. Okay, this gain in the velocity is lost for some time, it is only for the some time, and it will last till again another that electron will collide with the another metallic ion. Okay, therefore at each collision the electron starts refresh. Now again at this place, suppose it has collided, it start refresh, again it start moving towards the positive side of the conductor. Therefore after every collision the electron restarts fresh with a random thermal velocity. Okay, now this if the electron is having the random thermal velocity is u1 and accelerates for time tau 1, we are considering that tau 1 as a time before it suffers next collision. Okay, then it will attain the velocity after one collision, that is v1 is equal to u1 plus a tau 1. Okay, once again here you have to keep in mind that before it starts the next collision, the time is considered as a tau 1. So in between the two collisions, the relaxation time is considered as a tau. Okay, similarly the velocities of the remaining all the electrons which are moving from minus side to plus side of the battery are considered as v2 is equal to u2 plus a tau 2. In the same way, I can write down that Vn is equal to Un plus A tau n. Okay, now This n I'll take it capital so that you can understand, because we have considered here the n number of electrons are there in this particular conductor. Okay, now the average velocity Vd, average velocity is Vd of all the n electrons can be written as Vd is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus Vn divided by n. Okay, now this is the final velocity acquired by each and every electron. But now we have said that V1 is equal to U1 plus AT1. So I can write down, instead of V1, U1 plus A tau 1, then U2 plus A tau 2. In the similar manner, Un plus A tau n. This is for the nth electron divided by n. Now suppose we calculate this, finally we are going to get it in the different manner, that is Vd is equal to U1 plus U2 plus Un, these all are vectors, divided by n plus A tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau n divided by n. Now we have studied that this U1 plus U2 plus Un is divided by n is nothing but the average initial velocity before the electric field is applied, and we have studied that this velocity u bar was equal to 0. Therefore in this expression we will consider that this complete term is 0 plus a, and this is tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau n divided by n, that means it is the average time. We can say that it is tau. Okay, so this tau upon n is considered as the average time between the two successive collisions, and this average time that elapses between two successive collisions of the electron is called as the relaxation time. Okay, so this tau is called as relaxation time, and it is defined as the average time that elapses between two successive collisions of an electron. This is called as a relaxation time. Now for most of the conductors, this relaxation time is of order of 10 raised to minus 14 seconds, and therefore the velocity gained by an electron during this time is given by Vd is equal to A into tau. Okay, now this acceleration again we have calculated from this value. The acceleration is equal to minus E upon m. So I can write down here minus E vector E tau divided by m, and this expression is called as the expression for the drift velocity of the electron. So here we can get it as a drift velocity, that is the average velocity gained by free electrons of a conductor in the opposite direction of external electric field. Okay, therefore it is noted that the electric field accelerates an electron between the two collision, and it does not produce any net acceleration because the electron keeps colliding with the positive metal ions, and the velocity gained by it due to the electric field is lost during the next collision, and therefore it acquires the constant average velocity Vd in the opposite direction of E. That means we can say that in this particular diagram you can find out that as the field is applied in this direction and the electron is drifting in this direction, so we can say that the drift velocity of the electron is in the opposite direction to that of the E or the external electric field.